Welcome to Breaking Bread. It's a delicious weekly serving of conversation and cuisine. I'm your host, Tiffany Bacon, and every week we'll broadcast from a different restaurant, eatery, or chef's kitchen, where delicious delights and curious conversation is on the menu. We broadcast on Word Radio, 900 AM and 96.1 FM in Philadelphia, and worldwide online at wordradio.com and all Word social media. And a very good morning to you. Welcome to today's edition of Breaking Bread here on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media. So, I like to go around town and showcase restaurants and talk to interesting people. And I have both an interesting restaurant and some interesting people for you to enjoy today. This is my favorite show because not only do we get to eat, but we get to have brunch conversations about good stuff. And today the good stuff is arts and culture. So you're going to hear from one of my dear friends, Walter DeShields, who is one of the founders of Theater in the X. And sitting next to me is the owner of the establishment we are having brunch at today. The establishment is Cray Taste at 118, right? I got it right? 118 Market Street here in Old City. Saquan Howard. Thank you so much for being here.
Not a problem. Thank you for having me here. Thank you for coming into my establishment. Appreciate it.
Absolutely. And Walt, thank you for coming down here on the fly. I appreciate you.
Anytime. Food and conversation is perfect.
That's what we do. That's what we do. So before we get into anything, I need to find out more about Cray Taste. Tell us, how long has the restaurant been here and how you got started?
Well, in this location that we're going on 4 years. Before this, I have another restaurant as well that's in North Philly. That one going on 8 years. So as far as Cray Taste, Cray is an acronym. It stands for Creativity, Revolutionary, Artistry, and Youth. Nice. So that's the meaning behind Cray. And at the same time, you can flip it as crazy. But how I got into cooking, around 18 and having my first child, one of my best friends, he's a chef as well, Chef J.R. Robinson. He had a full scholarship for culinary, and he went to Monroe College in the Bronx. So basically, he had got an intern job, and at the intern job, I needed a job. So we took one day, and he showed me how to cut all the French terminologies, and I went for the job, and I got it. Because it was a 5-star Thai restaurant in Soho, Manhattan, because I'm from New York. Okay. So once I got the job, he left like 2 months later. I stayed there for a couple of years. As we all do, just working, trying to get some money. But the owners of the restaurant, they sat me down one day, and they was like, man, you have the talent. You're a black chef. And, these are Caucasian, man. And they was like, you have the talent, but you're not taking it serious. You're here for a check. So from that day forward, I just changed the way how I look at cooking. And from there, I just started developing. Me and my boy, who I was talking about, J.R. Robinson, he moved to D.C. So when he was in D.C., went out there one weekend, we did a brunch, and it was good. So we just started hosting brunches. People started booking us all around the world, L.A., Houston, traveling, doing things. Then I became a personal chef for like Wale and NFL player, basketball players, and that's how it just kept growing and stuff like that.
Get out of town. Okay, so as you were talking, of course, the food came out looking amazing. Walt's like, yeah, hand me some, please. So let's talk about what type of cuisine you have here at Cray Taste. Like, describe the fare.
So at Cray Taste, the cuisine is I guess it's like a brunch soul food cuisine, right? So we do brunch all day. You could get breakfast or dinner any time of the day. You could come. We open at 10 a.m. So 10 a.m. you could come and get some dinner food, or at 10 o'clock p.m. you could come and get breakfast, right? So yeah, that's just it's like a good, chill family environment that you could come have your business meeting, or if you want to bring your mom, your kids, and just have that good feel. That's what we provide.
Nice. All right, let's get Walt into the conversation. Walt, what's it looking like for you right now? Like,
it's looking real good. One of the first questions I'm asking is, I don't eat meat anymore, but I will dabble in seafood.
Okay.
Which I've had here before, which has really been great.
Yeah.
So I'm looking, and it's looking real cheesy which
Ooh.
I could never give up cheese. That's why I'm not a vegan. And I love me some good fries. They look loaded. These tacos, I love. What is it? I want some tacos.
Yeah, $2 tacos every Tuesday.
Yeah, y'all got
Y'all got $2 tacos on Tuesday?
Yes,
so okay,
yes.
what kind of tacos? Like, what can you get in it? Is a special thing?
So with the Cray tacos, it come with onions, peppers, lettuce, tomato. It depends on what type of protein you have on it. It is a different sauce that come with each protein, and then the protein is on top.
Absolutely.
Okay, well, I suggest we start digging in. Get what you need.
Yeah.
Our producers in the back definitely want a little something.
Yes.
He wants some of the fries and whatnot.
So being that you definitely not eating meat, I will swap this over. So we have because this is chicken, this is salmon, and then we have the shrimp tacos.
Okay.
And then these are the crab fries, and also we have the rasta pasta. It comes with chicken and shrimp as well, yes.
That looks good.
So yeah, I definitely want y'all to indulge and
Absolutely.
Okay, so I am
let's
vegan.
talk and eat.
I am vegan.
Okay.
But I'm vegan pescatarian, so I do eat fish.
Just don't do the cheese.
I know it's
all right. So I have something coming out for you with that won't have no cheese on it.
Okay.
Right.
But I see there's a fry over here that doesn't have any cheese on it. I get down with that bad boy right there.
I see that. I'm gonna get the salmon taco.
Yeah, grab that.
That seems about right for
I
your
love
boy.
fries.
Absolutely.
These fries are really, really
I
good.
can bite into this, Tiff. We good?
Okay.
All right.
Go ahead. So let's talk about your brunch. Look at the face. You gotta look at the face.
Yeah, the face never lies.
The face does not lie.
This is real.
The face never lies.
Listen, Linda, you're not listening.
Listen, Linda.
So when you're ready for brunch and you can do seafood, this seems like the thing to do. And the $2 Taco Tuesday. Okay,
Yeah.
What other specials do you have? Like what days and?
Oh yeah,
what type
I
of
have
things you
something that I've never seen in the Philadelphia or the Pennsylvania region. So I have something called Mini Menu Wednesdays. So on Mini Menu Wednesdays, we took our popular items that's on the menu, and they are $4 each in a mini dish, right? So yeah, and there's I believe a good 12 selections you could choose from for Mini Menu Wednesday, and that's definitely a popular thing that people love to come and try out. Because now, some people are, that's a lot for me. Now we're giving out, smaller portions of it and for $4 and you can pay for it.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's definitely a winner.
I'm digging this.
We do that. I have others. There's others I would have to think a little bit, but yeah, we definitely. I try to, I do try to create different things so people, because sometimes it gets stuck going and getting the same thing. You want to try something new or something that seems fun. So that's what definitely we try to put that into the food and create different ideas and stuff like that.
Nice. I know our producers in the back, they definitely want to get a little sample of some things, but I want to make sure we're able to see the food. So hopefully the food cam got a nice visual of what this looks like, because it's very tasty. I'm digging the fries.
Sure, it's all for you.
Yes. Listen, Linda, these fries are all that, okay? And that Rasta pasta, give us, without giving away the secrets, of course. What's in the Rasta pasta?
So the Rasta pasta comes with bell peppers, right? It has that nice creamy sauce. I mean, it's definitely one of the top. If you think you can make a Rasta pasta like me, come on, try it. But definitely, it comes with chicken breast and shrimp on top. Garnished with parsley and Parmesan cheese with the garlic bread on the side.
Yeah.
Wow.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah.
What do you consider your specialty? What's your
So my signature dish, my signature dish on the menu would be the bronze salmon. So the bronze salmon, it comes with creamy mash, sauteed spinach with the salmon, bronze. It comes with a shrimp on top with a Cajun cream sauce, right? So that one, anytime I cook it for someone, it always win them over, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, that's my go-to. That's my signature dish. But overall, what you was asking, what I'm assuming, what type of food do I like to cook the most? I would say fish. The reason being, because with chicken, there's only like a good 3 type of or 4 type of sauce you could really do with chicken, right? You can't really do too much.
Yeah.
But with fish, you really can just try so many different things. So I love that. I love the fish because you can try a lot of different things with it.
For me.
I love that for me too. Listen, please try all the things.
This salmon taco is
that's it, right?
I want to get down with the shrimp. It's
yeah. You know what? We're gonna have one with no cheese in it for you. We're gonna prepare that right now.
I appreciate that. But that looks delish. So I want to slide over, since Walt was just talking, I want to talk to you a little bit about Theater in the X. I've had you on various shows talking about various things. But for anybody that's new to Breaking Bread, you got to check out Theater in the X. Like when I say they have been doing amazing work for 11 years now. Ain't no fly by night.
That's right.
Y'all dug into the community. Yep. But for those who don't know, tell us the background of Theater in the X.
Theater in the X, started in 2013 with myself, Carlo Campbell, and Lanice Miller White. We just really wanted to do theater created by black folk, for black folk, in a black folk setting.
Yeah.
Right? So we thought, well, let's do a play at Malcolm X Park in West Philly. We're at 52nd and Pine. And we didn't think anything more than that. We picked the play, or Carlo picked the play mostly, and we was like, let's do it. I think actually we did 2 plays that first year.
Okay.
But we wanted to have artists of color, particularly black artists, be able to perform stories that were relative to them, close to their heart, and their kind of lived story, lived experience. And we wanted audiences to have that same feeling, right? And we also wanted folk to come out and not have to pay, If they wanted to give, they could give, but we didn't charge anybody, just bring a chair, have a seat in the park, It feels like a celebratory picnic with a show,
Yes.
And when we did it that first year, we got some really good feedback. We had a really good time. Folks seemed to really enjoy it, and folks was asking us, y'all gonna do it again? And we were like, you know what, I guess so. I don't even think we had a name that first year. Right? We just doing theater in the park.
Right.
And then we came up with Theater in the X, and we've performed every summer since then, and it's gotten bigger and better and more expensive. Every single time, we've done, Othello, we've done The Wiz, we've done Dreamgirls, we've done a lot of new works from young playwrights. We've done classics. Last year we did Zooming in the Sign by Philadelphia playwright Charles Fuller, rest in peace.
Yes.
And this year, of course, we're doing another classic from a Philadelphia playwright, Don Evans, called One Monkey Don't Stop No Show. This summer, August 22nd to the 25th, Malcolm X Park. 7 p.m. on Thursday and Friday, 5 p.m. Saturday and Sunday. TheaterInTheX.com. But that's what we've been doing. It's got great. It's been great. It's been a great run. It's kind of like what you're doing here. This is our way of feeding the community artistically, and giving them an opportunity, giving them something accessible, something that they understand, and they would understand all of it. They can come downtown and come to a nice show, and they would understand that too. But it doesn't always speak to the experience that they have had, or their immediate family has had, or their ancestors have had, the black experience in this country.
So I got you a question. How do you go about picking what play or what book that you want to cover that year? And
that's a great question. We got a company of folk, about a half a dozen of us, and we all come to the table with different ideas, right? Any given year, somebody will say, let's do a musical. Somebody might say, let's do this new piece that I read. Nobody knows about it. Let's premiere that. Or, I've been thinking about this classic that I remember from back in the day, or I read in school, or somebody gave me. And we sit around and we just read all of them. We come up with a list and we read them all, and we think this one is the best, or this one might fit. So I'll give you a little insight into what we did this year. So we were thinking about a lot of shows, and Carlo had a show that we really wanted to do. And it's a good show by James Baldwin, but it's intense. It's super intense. And we we just did an intense play last summer. Zooming in the Sign was about a boy shooting a little girl in West Philly. That was intense. And so we was like, maybe we want to go a little light this year, right? So while we like the other play, we might do that in another setting at a different time. But we was like, let's bring a comedy to the stage this year. And One Monkey Don't Stop No Show is definitely a comedy. You know?
Okay.
We also think about money. You know, the year we did Dreamgirls, we were like, ooh, this is a lot of money. Tiffany Bacon was the illustrious costume designer on that, which we want to bury more for. Shout out to you.
Okay.
She does all our costumes. So, but nonetheless, you know, it was a really large performance. So some years like, man, let's just do small.
Smaller. Yeah.
Let's bring it down a little bit. And One Monkey Don't Stop No Show was kind of in between, right?
Nice.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Looks More Food is here.
Look at this. Lord, have mercy. Have mercy. Have mercy. Okay. My God. So our producer Troy is pointing at the various things that he wants. I can definitely get down with that fried fish over there on the egg.
Oh, yeah.
So if you want to slide some of that towards me, that would be amazing because I can eat that.
What does that look like? Shrimp and grits?
Yeah, shrimp and grits.
Oh my Lord, have mercy.
Shrimp and grits.
All right, I need a plate. So if you're just joining us, we're WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media. This is Breaking Bread, and we are breaking bread with the owner of Cray Taste, which is right here in the heart of Old City, 118 Market Street. Saquan Howard is joining us, and also one of the founders of Theater in the X, Walter DeShields, joining us today. And we're enjoying this fantastic brunch. Look at this fried fish. Okay, food cam. It is crispy. I love crispy fish, okay? I love fries. My limited palate, there's a lot I cannot eat anymore, but that's okay. I can get down with some fried fish. I'm about to get down with this today. So we were just listening to you talk about all that you do in the community, you and the rest of Theater in the X. One of the other beautiful things about going to Theater in the Park is that people can bring their own food.
Yes.
So let's just talk about the importance of like having entertainment and food, how well they go together.
Brothers and sisters.
Listen, so do you have any, Saquan, do you have any like entertainment that happens here, like any open mics or anything
definitely.
like that?
Yeah, definitely. So once a month we have a comedy. Once a month we keep. We also have we have a comedy once a month. We do, man, I can't think of nothing right now. That's crazy. But yeah, we do that. We do, it's like a poetry. We don't do like rapping and stuff, but more of a poetry. We used to keep it jazz. Yeah, it was jazz.
Nice.
We trying to get back into that, a jazz night. What else we may do? And then we have like a silent party once a month as well with the headphones.
Nice.
So you can come out and dance a little bit. So those are as far as a few things that we do during the month. Yeah.
Awesome. And talk, Walt, that's amazing. I'd love to get like a schedule.
No
You say
problem.
once a month. I'd love to get a schedule of when these things pop up so we can come down and support. But talk about how you have incorporated food into Theater in the X, especially in Malcolm X Park.
Absolutely. You know, we didn't know at first, like, to really marry the two in such a way. But, you know, maybe it started with the Wiz, maybe a little earlier. We started seeing people bring food, right? And just kind of have a picnic. So then we started to encourage it. Then another thing we started doing was we invite vendors, you know? And you can ask most folks who vend anything. You know, usually you pay to be in the space, you know, you got to do that part and everything. But we just tell people to come on out, right? Set up alongside the stage. So now we'll have, you know, little food trucks and food stands and all types of stuff, water ice and stuff that kids like and all of that. But we still encourage people to bring all of this stuff with you. It's like it's like dinner en blanc, but without the white or bringing all of that. But you can bring your chairs, you can bring your picnic basket and all that stuff. You can come over to Cray Taste, get some first, and then bring it over to the park, right?
I know that's right.
You know, that kind of feeling. Because, like we're saying, like us, I mean, I don't know if there's anything blacker in the world than eating and being entertained.
Definitely.
You know, even if we're
And talking back to the
and
stage
talking,
while you
you know what I mean? Which is something we know just from being at home, right? Just in our faith traditions.
Yep.
You know, like that is a part of our culture.
Yeah.
You know, it is really what deepens the bonds that we have. And so, you know, as we do live theater out in the park, out in the real world, you know, we want the folks who watch the show to really feel at home when they're with us, you know what I mean? So again, they bring their most comfortable chair and they bring, the food that makes them happy. And that's super important. Here we're in Old City, and I was just talking to Saquan about, the Arden around the corner from us, where I've performed at before, and we've come over after shows.
Correct.
Just to fill our bodies, but also as we talk about the show that we just saw or how we experienced it and how that's so important to us. And so I just think it's a marriage, If I had all the money I would want to have, I'd have, my theater in a building, and on the top floor, and I have Cray Taste right there,
right? Blend it in.
Leave the
theater. No, it really do make sense, because if that's feeding the soul. Having entertainment over good food, that's a blessing for the soul. So I definitely agree on that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I'm loving it. I'm just loving hearing you both talk so lovingly about what you do and the importance of community.
Yeah.
One of the things we've covered a little bit in the show, at least one particular episode, is the lost art of really having a meal together. We don't eat with our families like we used to. You know what I mean? It used to be every Sunday. It didn't even matter what faith you were in.
Right.
Every Sunday, folks were at somebody's house having dinner.
Yep. Yeah.
If not every night.
Yeah.
We are a long way away from everybody having dinner together every night.
Yeah.
But especially on a Sunday.
Especially.
Dinner was like at 4 o'clock. Somebody's mom was cooking like right after church or last night, the night before, Saturday night. They weren't out in the clubs. They was in there, popping them peas.
Yep. That's
a fact.
Shucking that corn. So you had Sunday dinner.
I think my opinion was not as frequent. Why it don't happen as it used to. I think the social media, the technology. That's what I want to say.
Yeah.
That's what it separates us so much. Other than it brings us together on a different platform, but it separates us in life,
in person.
Right?
Yeah.
So I think that's what got in the way, because at that time you had to go to grandma's house to see that person, because you couldn't just call them straight up, be like, you know what, they gonna be there.
Yep.
We used to just walk there and be like, so you had to be at a place. Everyone had to be around each other. Now it's everyone, in the corner.
Right.
So I think that's what changes it up.
I would like to submit that it happened even sooner than that, because I remember in the 80s, before there was social media, and we had VHS tapes, and that was it. In the 80s, I remember a time where there was just a shift, and the family just didn't get together anymore.
Yeah.
And it wasn't like, I know in my house, it was everybody had their own TV. And so everybody was parked in front of their TV with their little TV dinner, or mom cooked. They would take the plate upstairs or in the den, in the living room, wherever. Everybody kind of dispersed. But I don't think it was there wasn't no social media. I don't think it was the technology that did it. Something else shifted.
But it's still the technology, because now everyone has a TV in front of them and they're in their room. That's technology.
Yeah, but before that, what was the reason to make you want to go to the TV? That was the thing. You know what I'm saying? It's like, you could have something in your room. Like, people had games.
Right.
True.
And it's like, you didn't leave the dinner table to go play your video game back then. Like, some people had Atari. So
I agree. No, you're right. Something did happen. What changed it from?
I think that I have an opinion on this. If you know me, I got an opinion on everything, it seemed like.
That's okay.
But I think, like, especially for black folk, we got busy, and that's an oversimplification of it, but we got very busy in our lives. We had access to more. Black folks have have moved along economically in this society, and in some ways, folks might argue this about integration as well. Some of the drawbacks of that is that it pulled us apart a little bit, right? Because now, mom might work 8 to 4, and dad got to go work the night shift, and there's all these different schedules in the house, and school has become more complex for young people. We really just did what a lot of our white folk colleague did, right? Like, I think they saw the differences in their families a lot before we did, because us getting together was really cultural, right? But then as we assimilated more into society, our schedules became a lot like theirs. You know what I mean? I was thinking about this earlier this year, Easter Sunday. I was checking around. I said, man, who cooking tonight? And nobody was cooking.
Nobody.
I couldn't remember I could remember a time when on Easter, you know, even if you didn't celebrate, especially black folks in Philly, there's a lot of Muslims here, you know what I mean? But everybody's still gonna show up to Big Mama's Easter dinner or whatever the case was.
I agree.
You know,
it was just like that for 4th of July.
Yes.
Nobody cooked out.
Right.
Nobody's cooking out for 4th of July? No one.
Juneteenth, even if we're shifting now to Juneteenth, who was having the barbecue on Juneteenth?
Right. You know, that is, you know, you get these if somebody might have something at the park and, you know, but it's like a collaboration of a lot of people trying to make that happen. But that thing in the house is not there. I was telling you a few weeks ago, I'm going to do a dinner at home on a Sunday in the fall. You know, just because I miss that. You know what I mean? My kids said they'll be home this Thanksgiving.
Nice.
They'll be here in Philadelphia, and I said, "Oh, bet that's it. I'm gonna do it." And I'm not even a cook. I'll be messing around. I washed my hair a couple times. I think I got in my kitchen or something.
That's all right.
But I love it.
Yeah. You gotta do it.
You gotta like what you eat.
You gotta do it.
You know, but food is cultural, right? Like, and our experience with it is cultural. I just want to say, the fries, I was tasting them, the aftertaste stays with you, so I don't know what's in that sauce on these, but it's kicking.
So the Cray sauce, it's called the Cray sauce.
The Cray sauce.
Yeah.
Don't get this Cray sauce.
Yeah.
This Cray sauce.
That's, we definitely gonna start bottling up our sauces. We have at least 4. My manager Connell, that's something that he pushing. We got like 4 sauces. We got the honey lemon, the Cray sauce, the Cray bang sauce, the Cajun cream, and the jerk sauce, I believe it is.
Oh, we can take that home with us.
Yeah, so so like you could come with, you can come, you can buy it as you leave. Now that's something we really like. We have been a little off with the merchandiser because, you know, this on the day-to-day operation, it takes a lot, right? So you can have the best ideas in the world, but especially in the restaurant business, you can't predict how every day is going to be.
Yes.
So, you know, us just being in here, you know, every day, it's something that we have on the board, but just a day-to-day, just trying to keep everything rolling. There's, you know, you get missed calls sometimes.
Right. And I joke, you know, about The Bear, the TV show. I don't know who all watches it on FX or Hulu or something like that. But, you know, I was also in a play where I was a cook around the corner. And so in the last couple of years, I've developed such an appreciation for what y'all do. Like I always trust, you know, you got to trust people with your food and stuff like that. So I always had that. But I don't think a lot of people have realized how much work goes in on this. Because you got to, you know, as a cook, I'm sure, as a chef, you're like, there's an artistic layer to it, right? This is your presentation, but there's also this business. You know what I mean? Like as artists, we often don't want to think about the business. But we have to. And in this, you can't ignore it. You got a building you got to take care of. You got people you got to pay. You got to order food and
you know
what I mean? Like
exactly, it's so much, right?
Imagine a harder.
And then you know, you like you said, and then you constantly on your feet, constantly moving. It's a lot, you know. Then you dealing with so many different personalities. You know, within your staff, and then within the people that come through your door, because everyone that walks through your door is maybe not excited at that moment. You know, something could just happen, and then you walk, you know. But what I do love, like you said, the artistry behind the food when you're doing what I do love. Because a person could be so upset, but once they eat, everything goes out, right? Because now you putting in, you nourishing yourself with good vibes. You know, that's why I even tell, you know, my cooks, I could be pissed off, but once you start cooking, if you put love into it and good energy, that's what it's gonna give out, because that's what people put in their body, right? So I always love to see that change when they come in here a little upset. So, you know, that's my loving behind it.
That's a great gift to give to folks.
It is. And you brought up a really good point in terms of dealing with the public, no matter what business you're in, especially if it's entertainment or if it's culinary, dealing with the public is special.
Special.
Just talk about your experiences, both of you, and how you've overcome like real challenges where you're just like, I don't want to stop doing this, but right now I want you to stop doing this. This particular behavior, this particular attitude in my face. I'll start with you, Walt.
You know, as an artist, it's probably less than what Saquan might deal with people, but you know, we get, if I'm done a show or if somebody wants to talk to us about what we're doing or something like that, I do get interesting comments, you know. I didn't like it, or it wasn't you, I didn't like the writing or the lighting or something I don't have any control over, that kind of thing. Other people, you know, offer really good ideas and thoughts and maybe even something for us to think about moving forward, and that's all very interesting. So I generally have good interactions with the people who consume our art, who want to be a part of it. A lot of people, especially in this city, I mean, shout out to everybody in Philadelphia who's been supportive of us and even all over the country, and you know, like, how can they help? You know, even beyond giving $1, which is always great. We could always use more money, but like, how can I volunteer? Can I come and help people sit down? Can I sell T-shirts? Can I help with the stage? Like, we get a lot of that. And so it really is. It's this idea.
Because people don't know those little things is what you really need.
Absolutely.
You know,
absolutely.
People don't really understand that. That goes a long way.
Yep. It does. It really does. And so, you know, I love engaging with the folks. You know, you always get a few. You know, and we're at Park Park, and so, but it's still one of our favorite things. You know, we go into the park, and the community's there, man. It's people who are in the park every day, 365 days a year, and I'm not joking. I don't care what's happening outside; they outside, and
yes, they are.
And we show up and we start unloading the stage and all the stuff, and you know, they're there talking to us and everything. And so it's always a pretty good experience.
But you know what's crazy? What's good about it, because this the 10th year? How many? What year?
11th year. Yeah.
The 11th year. Yeah. So now, when y'all show up, they feel it. We're family, because that's the good thing about it, right?
Absolutely right.
They know that. All right, what's up, man? How you? Yeah. So that's the best thing about it as well, because now it's a extended family of people that you know.
Yep. Absolutely. That's so true, man. How about you, man? Dealing with
folk, oh man, the gas. Nah, it's definitely same as you said. I love it because it is a blessing, right? Definitely, people coming in here. I love when that door open. You coming in here a lot means a lot for me, right? But that definitely, at the end of the day, you have those that come, and I think sometimes they just come for trouble, like you could give them the world and they still be mad. You like, all right, I don't know what to do more, but at the end of the day, I think those certain things we run into is what builds your character and builds who you are, right? Yeah. So if I didn't have those interactions, you know, I wouldn't know how to deal with certain matters. So I think everything comes with a blessing as well. So I love them. I love it still.
I want to ask you about, you know, being in this location is so crazy and unique. And I know we used to hang out at Warm Daddy's down the street when that was there.
Yeah.
But since right around the corner,
front and market.
Yeah, but when Warm Daddy's left, and that was it for black restaurants in this part of the city. Then we got you, and we got Amina around the corner, and I think somebody else is down the street now.
Black Hen.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's Amina still.
Yeah, oh wow, okay.
Oh, okay.
Man, shout out to y'all. So what was in the thought process? Let me go to Old City during the pandemic at that.
Yeah, exactly, right. Honestly, that was my first thought from the first restaurant, right? So that was my idea from that, because my vision, you know, you have to vision anything if you want to be successful, everybody. You have to see it. If you don't see it, then what you looking at, right? But so my vision was where we at now, right? Something like this. So as I was looking, you know, doing different things, when I picked my daughter, who's in the front now hosting, when I would pick up from school, I take her to go see some of the buildings that I made appointments with, right? Yeah. And we came down here. We went to a few different places, but when we went into the first restaurant on 7th and Pike, she liked that one for some reason. So I was like, you know what? And my whole idea too, because this was my whole idea behind it as well. Us growing up, or at least for me growing up, sometimes you couldn't afford food or whatever, right? So you would order the wing platter, and out of that, from the Chinese spot, and at least 3-4 you're gonna bust down that platter, and that's how we eating, right?
Absolutely.
So I wanted to give the community that same pricing but better quality food.
Yes.
So that was really the whole idea behind it, right? Like the same amount we paying, but it's a better quality food. So, you know, that was the whole idea behind it. So when she said she loved that, that's why we went down there. But my whole idea at first definitely wanted to come in. So when God put this in my life where I could step into these doors, I was like, we done, man. Like, so it's like, I believe in it, so I know we can rumble with the best. Let's go there. And at the end of the day, you have to put yourself to the test to get better, right?
Yep, absolutely.
So at the end of the day, it is a learning process. Of course, I went through a lot, but I know what it is for the next 3, right? So it's like, all right, I'm ready.
Right.
So yeah, that's it.
That's super dope, man.
That's great. I'm loving it. I'm loving these stories. I'm loving the camaraderie. I'm loving the conversation. That's what this is about. We're breaking bread on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media. I'm Tiffany Bacon. I am your host. We are here at Cray Taste in the heart of Old City, 118 Market Street. So if you old school Philly, we're around the corner from where Warm Daddy's used to be, if you remember that. This is Saquan Howard, who is the owner. I'm also here with Walter DeShields, who is one of the founders of Theater in the X, having an awesome conversation. I'm going to talk a little bit more about the food here because you got some crispy wings here, and I know our producers behind the camera are going to get down with that. Walt and I, we can't get down with the chicken right now, unfortunately. But the fish, listen, Linda, this fish was, do you want a piece of it? Because I'm about to devour all of it, because it is very crispy and very, very well seasoned. Are your seasoning, so where do you get your seasoning from? Like, is this something from like your past, or you just playing in the kitchen like, I like this, I like that?
No, everybody that's around right now have the same seasonings in our cabinet right now that I use. And that's salt, pepper, and a little Cajun or whatever. Right? So what happened is, there's a guy, he owns his restaurant for like 20-something years, right? So the gym that he told me, he said, listen, don't be like them people, all this crazy seasoning. You pick 3 seasonings that you like, and that's what you use. The reason behind that, because the people who you bring in that's work for you, you don't want to blow their head with all this different type of stuff. You want them the same, so everything tastes the same, always be the same. And that's the whole key behind it. So honestly, I just use those 3 seasonings and create it. Like I said, anybody could do it. It's just the feeling or the love that you putting behind it, right?
That's the difference.
That's the difference. That's the difference. Yeah, it's the love.
It's the love.
It's really soft.
Yes.
What kind of fish is this?
This is whiting.
This is whiting.
Yes.
Really soft and succulent there.
And crispy at the same
Ain't dry,
time.
it's not dry, dog.
Listen. Dry chicken and dry fish is
the word, right?
In your mouth.
It's the word.
Like I'm choking.
No, definitely. Definitely.
I'm loving this. So
I've had your shrimp and grits before. Excellent.
Thank you.
I'm gonna say top 2, top 3 in the city.
Thank you.
Word.
They really good.
See, man, I wanna.
Yeah.
We're gonna get you your own special dish. We got you. We got you.
Because it look pretty.
We do. It do.
And that's the thing.
We
like
need
if the
shrimp
food
and grits
don't
and no
even
cheese.
look good,
Right.
you be like,
Right. You know.
I don't know.
I always think like I heard a chef say this one time. It's the challenge is making that one dish excellent every time you make it.
Yeah.
I can't imagine how challenging.
Exactly.
It is,
Like that. That's what I'm saying. Like because when you came here and you tasted that particular item, you fell in love with it.
Yeah.
So when you go back, you want to get that same, right?
Yep.
So you have to keep recreating that. And most of the time, a lot of times, you don't even know what day you went on. So you don't even know who worked that day. Like for real, right? So it's like
It shouldn't change.
it shouldn't change. So that's why, like, you really have to break it down where it's simple as possible, but at the end of the day, you have to want to do it. Because if you don't want to do nothing, it's not gonna happen, right? That's for anybody, right? It's not. And we have had those people who we be like, why I look like that? Why? And it just don't even. You did everything right, but you just didn't do it right.
Right. True indeed.
Right.
Because I know I got there's some, I ain't gonna name nobody, but there's some other favorite restaurants in the city, and it's like, man, they used to be good. We always say like, man, what happened?
And that comes too. What I think, what my opinion, Sometimes, because this restaurant, it could be stressful, right? It could be stressful, but I think this is one of the business that you, as an owner, you have to be there on a consistent basis. I ain't saying you gotta be there every day of your life, but it can be one of the business where somebody full controller, you just go check in. Nah, you really have to be there because this is food. You really have to be mindful, you know, and we play with a lot of numbers, you know, the food costs, labor costs, and all that. So I think what you're going into, what you're saying, why I lose is value because they're not checking in how they used to be. They're not there. And sometimes, you know, at the end of the day, we are business people. Of course, it's all about expanding, right? But when you do that, for some reason, it takes away.
It takes away.
It always takes away. It always takes away. So only certain people find that real niche where they can keep doing it and it stay right, but it always takes away, you know?
Yeah.
It's crazy.
So what do you think, and that kind of works too with what you're doing in theater, you know, once you branch out, then folks are like, see, now you change it, you get to a certain place, and now you're getting all high city, and it ain't the same. How do you maintain that balance, or how do you attempt to maintain that balance?
I know, you know, I think this is a general life thought, right? Like, the values that got you there are the values you keep as you continue to grow. You know, like what, you know, you don't change your values because you got more money or you got, you know, more access. Or I mean, some people do, right? We know it, but we see it's always a bad way to end up. You know, so I think we keep the values. You know, with Theater in the X, we knew this is who we want to make theater for. This is who we want to make theater by, right? And this is what we want people to feel when they come and see a show with us, right? We want it, you know, we describe the park experience every summer like a family reunion because of everything we're talking about here. Like us collecting and gathering, right? With a common cause. Even if you've seen a play, you'll have a billion different, you know, interpretations and opinions and all of that. But the experience of being together while we're doing it is what's great. You know, that black folk don't love nothing more than consuming a piece of art or something like that and having a different opinion on it. But that's not the point. The point was that we could all talk about it together. We could experience it together. And so I think as we continue to grow, you know, we're also a building in the future, right? That we will maintain that, you know, and we'll always keep the summer show. Even when we get a building, we'll keep the summer show. That's what we, you know, wanted to bring our community. That's exactly it. You know, that idea of accessible theater, accessible entertainment for folks.
So let me ask you a question, right? So like, even with the theater in the park, when you first started doing it and as you kept doing it throughout the years, and the people that came and watched you that never even seen a play before, right? Then you see them there again, right? And then they bring in a next person with them because you intrigue them, right? And it's a cycle. But what I want to know is, has any of those people that you may know of started joining to do a play, wanted to be in a play, or started acting?
Oh yes. Oh yeah, we brought people who never, like you said, never saw a show, and now they work on our crews. You know, they're a part of our team. They come back every year. They bring more people. Absolutely, and that was one of the things. You know, I'm a professional actor, and I know how difficult it was to get to where I am in the field. And so some people ask me a question, well, how can I get there? And it's hard for me to answer because it's like, it's like hidden loops that it's hard to describe and. For people who don't have experience with it to get access, you know? And so when we see people who don't have any experience with it, we just figure it out, you know, because it's one of them things.
As black people will, we figure it out.
Like once you will, we'll figure it for you.
Yeah, we're going to figure it out.
And people grow and elevate, and you know, I mean, again, Tiffany does a lot of our costumes, and she was always great at doing whatever with sewing. I used to see her sewing and stuff like that. And I mean, she's got to be one of the best costume designers in Philadelphia. You know what I mean? Like, it's just like, bring the folks in, and then the folks figure out what's good for them relative to that thing.
Correct.
You know, we try to bring as many people in and all levels, you know. We'll call you one day and say, hey man, you want to cater the party? You know what I'm saying? Like, especially if it's black business. Like, that's what we care about the most.
Absolutely.
You know? So yeah, we bring folks in. Kids, you know, we got kids, you know. There's this young brother, Brett Gray, who some of us know. I think his biggest role might have been starring on My Block on on Netflix.
Okay, yeah.
And he was in the first year of Theater in the X. And this brother is on the verge of being an international star. You know what I'm saying? We bring people along that way. You know what I mean? Because it's good for all of us.
Yeah, definitely.
And it's in some instances it's life changing. You know,
it is.
Just to, like Walt said, so I've been doing costumes for them since 2019, and I'm always marveling, sitting like behind the curtain in the tent with the costumes, watching the kids. Like, it'll be little kids on bikes. They're just out riding, and they'll stop and watch the whole show. Like, not even notice what's going on, but they'd be on their bikes, and some of them put the bike down and just sit on the ground. They don't have chair, towel, nothing. Just sit on the ground and watch the show. Be just like this, all in it, soaking it up. And just imagine, you know, because we don't know the children. You don't know what their home is like. We don't know anything about them. But I can just imagine that they're going home with the thoughts of, I saw people that look like me.
Yeah, and you know what they're going to do?
Doing this thing.
They go home, and then they're going to Google or go to YouTube and learn more about it.
Right.
And that's how they keep going. Because, I like that. Oh, you know what? Let me find something, you know? And,
absolutely.
And maybe ask, how can I go to school?
Yeah, exactly.
Where can I get acting classes and all that?
Absolutely. We were at the gas station on 52nd Street one time getting ice. And some brothers was just, you know, the young men, standing around. Hey, man, why don't you come help us build this stage a little bit? And they come with us. And I see them every year.
Right.
They always want to help. You know, that's what you want to do.
Building community.
Absolutely.
Building community, investing in the community. Before we pivot to like what's next for both of you, just talk about just those moments where you really felt like what I'm doing is changing a life. You were talking about feeding the soul.
Yeah,
Talk about that.
For me, and I know you feel the same way. For me, when you get to a certain point, you realize it's not about you no more. Because once you realize that this person who's been employed with you for the last 3 years depend on you to pay their bill every day, to put food in their kids' mouth, right? That's where it hit me. It's like, damn, I really got, you can't be like, I'm chilling, I'm not going in today.
That's right.
It's like, dang, because that's when it really hit me. But like, oh man, I'm really taking care of family and multiple, right? So it's like, yo, if I stop, then they don't have, you know what I mean? So for me, that's how it really, I'm like, affect me in a different way. That does really keep pushing.
And I know personally, like I know my sister Aaliyah works here. You absolutely affected her, and because she don't have to do this, right?
She got it. Yeah, exactly.
I'm like, sis, what you doing here?
Exactly.
And I love the people, and then she introduced me to you, and I was like, man, that's a good brother.
And that's someone just believing in you as well, because at the same time, a lot of people will have that a lot, right? And I definitely have people that surround me that just jumped on board. They don't even want nothing, right? They didn't even want nothing, but just believe, right? Because that little belief gives you so much to keep going further, right?
That's right.
So I think that's all that comes from.
Yeah, absolutely.
How about you, Walt?
And I mean, art is just one of those things that's in our lives, whether we know it or not, that just has an impact. I'm older now, so I cry at everything, or things touch me, in ways that, my super masculinity when I was a teenager didn't let me,
Not fact.
But now, if art is inspiring or the story is something that relates to me, I mean, it really changes the way I can view things. I was just saying, like how just watching the one TV show was like, oh, I really get it now. Restaurateurs and folks that this is their life's work, right? That kind of impression that leaves. So I think us creating art is inspiring and giving it back to the people, right? Because art belongs to the people.
Correct.
There are those of us who are somehow charged with a gift from God to go and share that with folk. And, I know that's what God wants me to do, And so when I see it in people's eyes, whether I'm on the stage or I'm on the side, and I can see people being impacted by it, that's what changes me and continues to help me grow, especially my children, like you said with your daughter, right? Like, especially my children, 2 of my 4 are, in the arts a bit, you know what I mean? And I can see the effect it's having on them, and that's probably my favorite gift, like just passing that down to them, and seeing it bring them joy. So yeah, I think so.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
I love it. All right, we're getting close to the end of the episode, so I want to spend a little bit of time talking about what's next. So you have One Monkey Don't Stop No Show. Tell us a little bit about the show, again, when, how people can donate, how people can see it, all those things.
Absolutely. Usually I have my Theater in the X t-shirt on so you can see the spelling. But if you go to theaterinthex.com, you'll see all the information. In theater, in this case, is spelled THEATRE, theater, in the X.com. You can get all the details. But August 22nd through the 25th, Malcolm X Park, which is at 52nd and Pine, 52nd and Larchwood. 7 p.m. on Thursday and Friday, 5 p.m. on Saturday and Sunday. It is free. It is absolutely free. Bring your own food, bring your own chair, bring your own towel, whatever you use to get comfortable. Bring your folk, bring as many people as you want to bring. It's a big stage this year. We're orienting the park in a different way than we have, so it'll be even more space. But One Monkey Don't Stop No Show by Don Evans. It's a comedy this year. It's set in the 70s, so get ready for that. Costuming from the wonderful Tiffany Bacon. And it's set in Philadelphia. It's about a family. He's a pastor, the first lady, and their all-American son. And I'll just say this, the all-American son don't want to be the all-American son. He want to be with the girl from West Philly. So come see how that unfolds. There's a whole bunch of characters that folks might recognize from their own families in the show. We're going to have a good time. We're going to have a lot of fun. It's a wonderful soundtrack. It's directed by Miss Maureen Hennigan Booker. Carlo Campbell is in it, one of our co-founders. Eric Carter, one of our company members, and a wonderful cast. Tasha Holmes and Janan Ashton and so many other people. I don't want to forget no names. Go check them out. But it's a beautiful, fun cast. All you have to do right now at this moment is go home and pray on the weather.
I know that.
Every year, the folks at Theater in the X are meteorologists. Start August 1st, I'm checking the weather every day. It's supposed to rain the next 5 days, so I'm hoping, come on, God, get it out the system.
Right, get all this rain out the
I hope to get, 5 or 6 days of sunshine and no humidity, 80 degrees.
I want to ask you a question real quick. Yeah. How long does it take prepping before the actual date of the show?
Yeah.
How long?
It takes, again, we picked the show and we finalized picking it probably right in early January, right after the new year. And then we do some pre-production stuff from January. That means hiring people, getting everybody, the team in place. And by the end of April, early May, usually right after Easter, the executive team of that group start getting together, picking their designers and all of that. By the time we get to Memorial Day, everything's set, and then when we get to June, they start rehearsals. But still, all the set design is happening, the costume design stuff is happening.
Okay, so all that's happening between that time.
Yes, stuff that people wouldn't even think about is happening. Yep.
And you need that much time for that one show, right?
That one show, yeah.
So how many shows do you give a year?
Well, it depends on the year. So this last year, all we did was we did a big reading series with playwrights over the age of 55, which was really dope. Okay. Just reading plays, getting folks together. That's a little less effort. Okay. But when we do 2 or 3 shows, which we have in the year, every show has a 6-month out. Yeah. Right. So there's a different team of us working on getting that show.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's a lot.
It's a lot.
Yeah, I bet it is.
It's a lot.
And then you got how many people in the play? I got to make all these uniforms. That's a lot.
Oh yeah.
It's a lot. I mean, but it's fun. It's fun.
It's fun because I know at the end you be like, all right, I did it.
Yep.
It's done. That's the way it comes. Like,
listen,
wow, that Sunday night party is everything.
The rap party. When it's all done. Because we're like,
yeah.
Lord.
But you gotta go to certain people and be like, I'm sorry I yelled that day.
People like that. I don't even yell.
But I have yelled. I've made that apology.
Yes, because it be a lot of stress sometimes. Yeah, man.
I worked on it. I yell a lot less these days. Thank God.
Which is a beautiful thing, Walt. I appreciate the progression in your life.
Thank you so much. I worked on it.
But it's all right. I mean, but you understand as a restaurateur.
Yeah, absolutely.
Sometimes if stuff is just falling apart, you're like, and you don't want to disrespect anybody, but you're still like,
I need everybody to get around. We got to do this right now.
Right. So what's up? What's next for you and Cray Taste?
So like I was saying before, we do have a lot of events that's coming up. You can actually find out at craytaste.com and you go to events. On our website, you can find a lot of things that we got going on. One of our biggest things we do is Sunday brunch. You know, we have the day party along with the brunch. That's a big vibe. So definitely, you could just follow us on social media, and you can see a few things that we got coming up. I want to start back the
Jazz night.
The jazz night and the cooking. Like cooking classes.
Oh, yeah?
So that's something, I definitely want to do.
So wait a minute, let me ask. I gotta ask.
I haven't done it in a few years, but I want to get back into it. Yeah.
Cooking class, is this the kind of thing where it's like you could be a straight up novice and you can burn water and come in here and learn how to like make basic stuff?
Yeah. We're gonna do
That's
that.
love.
Okay.
Yep.
Anybody you know that can't cook,
come in.
send them to this man so they can stop burning pots.
Yeah, we getting back into the cooking classes and little stuff like that, you know.
Nice.
Definitely. Yeah.
Nice.
Thank you.
I'm feeling all of that.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Tell us again the website so folks can.
CrayTaste.com. CrayTaste.com.
And social, same thing?
Same thing, Cray Taste, yeah. So on social media, it's the same thing. It's Cray Taste, yeah.
Same thing.
Nothing changed, yeah.
Okay. And Theater in the X website and how people can donate?
TheaterInTheX.com. Remember TRE at the end of theater. And it's the same thing on social medias, Instagram, Twitter, whatever Twitter was or is now. Facebook, Theater in the X. You can find us. Google, whatever you got. All the information will be there. We're ready for folks. We can't wait to see everybody in the park in just a couple of weeks. We're starting. We're here. We picking up sets tomorrow. We're doing everything.
That's right. I love it.
Yeah.
Well, that's all the time we have. Thank you, gentlemen, so much. Thank you so much for watching. Much love going out to my producers, Nicholas Steptoe, and of course to the one and only Mr. Troy Wilmore. We thank the folks here at Cray Taste, and of course Walter DeShields with Theater in the X. Please make sure you check us out at wordradio.com for more details on all the good things coming up this summer. Have a peaceful, positive, and productive day. We'll catch you next time.